Oz and Merry Christmas. Well, full contact karate and coffee. We are off to go. Yes. Okay, I will start to wish you a Merry Christmas. I hope you are spending your time with the family and friends and having a good time. Maybe a little bit rest from training and work and all that things we are doing all over again. So I hope you have a good time, good as possible. Um, this time I will answer a question we got from the last article or the last video, and the question was asked how to prepare a fighter. Mm. So I'll try to answer that. As before, if you think this is okay, leave a thumb, subscribe to the channel, and I will try to update it when I can. And don't hesitate to come with some comments and some topics. I will try to answer far as I can go. As I said, I'm not I'm not the oracle that knows everything, so I just wanted to share. Yeah. Okay, so the question was from last time how to prepare fighters, and not only fighters but also junior fighters, and how is the transition from a junior to a senior. To make it a little bit simple, in this case I will refer to above 18 years, that's seniors. Under 18 years, that's juniors. I know we have different categories like junior, cadets, youth, and everything, but to make it easy, under 18 years, juniors this time. Yeah, and seniors, oh, great. I think this is a quite wide topic. So, if you are in a rich environment, and that means if you are in a strong country, for example, like the Eastern Europe countries, Lithuania and Poland and all the Eastern European countries, they have such a rich environment. The knowledge is very, very good. So many of these natural steps you will find in your own dojo, a matter of fact. So I don't think it's you necessarily have to do something yourself. The path is there for you, and your senpai and senseis will lead you through it. And they have a system in the dojo been used for many years, and it's adjusted and modified so you will have the best. And you will move through the levels and up to a fight team, for example, and from there maybe all the way into the national team, for example. So I think in the top nations they will have these systems more in the dojos than other nations have. So probably I will talk a little bit more about what the other nations will do, and I've been there. um, if the environment doesn't have such many fighters, the environment isn't big. You have to quite fast. You have to travel. You have to realize that you have to travel. You have to go to the neighbor dojos. You have to go across the country to meet and train with the best, and you have to go outside the country. That is very important. And all this time is not only to train with different people. Well, that is a great thing as well, but it's also to create the knowledge you have. And for me, the knowledge is it's the absolute most important thing. We have to try to get as much knowledge that we can into people that want to go to the tatami and fight, especially if this is the first time or second time or something. If we are beginners, that is absolute the most important thing. If we have too many questions, the focus is more hard to have. So the knowledge, good answers head first, preparing, and then the body. And also, if you have the knowledge, you will understand why the preparing in the body is so hard as well, and you will accept far more as well. That's my experience. So we have to teach them, and it's very important for me when I'm thinking about those fighters that are not so experienced yet. Include them, take them with you to the tournament, also to watch. Well, this is now we are going with the top fighters, but you can help us um, hold the mitts in the warm up, like things like that. Make them a part of the team, and then they can also measure themselves against someone they know, because if I'm including and I'm watching, and I will see my friends fight on the tatami, and I know because I've been fighting them in the dojo, so then I can measure a little bit. Okay, is this a tournament for me? Well, my sensei will decide that, but I will also have some thoughts about it. So to be included in the team, for me that is very important. So and also with the trainings, sometimes if you have different levels, you have some very experienced, and when they are going to a tournament, they need to maybe to isolate a little bit. They cannot necessarily spar on a lower level. But if they're off season, of course you will spar on a lower level. That is also a thing for me that is very important. If you are a black belt or a experienced fighter, first of all, maybe, and I will think quite often, people are looking up to you. So when you're sparring with them, when you're telling them how to do things, they will listen and they will learn, and they will take everything like a sponge. They will take everything and do it best as they can. But if they don't, if they only are lived on the side, because the level is no, we are not training with a lower level. Luckily, I'm not seeing this very often, but unfortunately, I've seen this happen sometimes. That then someone will not train with lower level, even though it's off season. For me, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. If you're a higher grade or experienced fighter, of course you will share, and you will shorten the time of a non-experienced fighter with your information. Train with them, teach them, make them your sparring partners as fast as possible. If you keep them out, it will take years before they will reach a higher level. Okay, so for me that's quite clear. So include them all the time. Well, okay, so if you are a more experienced fighter, you will probably have some experience, of course, going into the tournament. And for me, it's very important also that you use the tournament ladder in your region or in your country. And that means if you are starting at the bottom, you will most likely go in a national, in a local tournament. That can be a dojo, maybe someone from the neighbor dojo is coming, a local tournament. And then you will go for the regional tournament. And maybe you will do it a couple of times because you need more time. That could also be so. So as a trainer, you will follow the fighters and see how this will work, and you will also take part of the decision. I think we go to the regional one more time. With experience, and so you will use the ladder up, moving upward. If you're going I've been doing some tournaments, maybe you begin to get some experience. For me, if you know you will win the tournament, don't go. If you know you will have the victory, no doubt about it, don't go. Take the next ladder. Take the next ladder. We are not there for the trophies. The trophies is a bonus. Wow. Yes. We are not there for the trophies. We are for the experience and for the knowledge. And if you go into safe tournaments, you will have you won't develop anything. So go to the next ladder. Go to the next ladder. That is, you have to do it, because everything will stop if you don't do it. So that is also that's very important. Um, Going through the ladder also mean going to your neighbor countries. That's something that's very important. If you're going, if you're thinking about this is something I will do, you have to be exposed for other, can I say, dialects, because the fighting is a little different when you are facing other nations, and the level can be as many times. We could have a change in the level. So um, maybe you will go to a regional tournament at home, like in your country, and you can go to the regional tournament in your neighbor country, and that will be a lot tougher. For us living in Norway, that's a fact. 3.5 hours with car for me. Then I'm in Sweden, in Gothenburg, and well, we have some good fighters in Gothenburg area, and they've been there for a while. So, and uh, the new generation are coming up. So that is also important. If you have fighters that really want to go, and they're pointing that I want to do this and I'm really going into it, expose them for this in an early stage. You cannot have them home for many years, and like the first international tournament, like 2026, that's over 10 years too late. You have to expose them, because it's also experience to travel, to feel how the body react. First 3.5 hours with car, that's maybe nothing, but you can also make the trip a little longer, maybe plane. You will sleep not at home, like things like that. And if you're a young fighter, need that experience as well. Yeah, so it's not only on the tatami. And we have to do the distance between the tatami and the dojo. We have to make that distance as short as possible. So the picture in the head of a fighter going into the tatami are quite much alike what he or she had thought of. If there's a big difference, thing can go the wrong way. So, and I'm not talking about losing. That's not the focus, not losing, but they can have a bad experience, and that is also a clue. So, to train them and to explain them so they understand, and also taking the pressure away. Don't talk about winning, 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 and it's only the weak ones are nervous. Unfortunately, that's something I heard. I almost choked on an apple when I when I heard it. The poor boy going to the tatami and shaking, and his coach was telling him it's only the weak one who are nervous. Right. So don't take off the pressure and focus on what they can do. The result, we don't necessarily we, sometimes we win on the tatami, but someone doesn't judge it that way. So the winning should be in second in hand when we are thinking about coming in with fighters. Yeah. So and when you are experienced fighters, if we see like a season, you will point out one or maybe two highlights that season, and they will be like typical. If you are on a certain level, it will be maybe like that European Championship, and you will have one on the other side of the year, maybe like two bigger tournament that are the top goals of the year. And it's all about also peaking your training into that tournament. You cannot train hard all the time, so you have to be tactical, and you have to know how in which stage you have to put in the different thing, that the physical aspect, the conditioning, like the breathing, and the strength training, and the sparring, and the hard sparring as well. That is also things that you have to put in. When you are off season, then you have try to relax and try to develop as much as possible. And that means that you will have to play in the sparring, to play, and it's a very good sequence of the year to also include people with less experience. When you are playing, teach them, and you will test out new stuff and try to develop. So when you are going into the European tournament and you have faced the same guy or girl that you have fought last time, you can pull out a couple of rabbits of the hat and improve. And of course, people will think, "Wow, that's great! I want to go there and trade with them." That's the top. But so that is important that we also have time off, and it's also something with the head. If you are on all the time, you burn out. You burn out. So I to my students I always say, we are on. No, we are on. Then we are really on. We are off. Then we are really off. Don't make it like, okay, I'm a little bit on. Oh, okay, maybe I'm off. Separate it. Now we are in the modus. We are in the focus. On, on. The sparring, the strength training, and the cardio training. Everything is on. And after the tournament, off, relaxing, thinking about the tournament, talking about that, and rethink maybe a little bit of the technical aspect, and developed. Some you relaxing in your head, and we train a lot, so you have to also feel that you're free, and you have to feel that it's funny, not only the hard brutal work every time. It's not. We have to do that as well, but not all the time. So I'm quite interested in have clear difference between when we are on and when we are off. So that's quite okay. So, and this is the same for if you take the juniors, the same thing for them. But the juniors fighting, they have more protection, and so very often the damage wouldn't be the same as if you go in like a senior. Well, a senior can be going in many tournaments also, but I think it's at the junior you can go a little bit more often, especially at the lower ages when you have the vest and a lot of protective gear. So I think that it's very important as a junior that you will have many tournaments, get experience, so you can bring that experience into the full contact when you're getting old enough. And that is also a part of the question being asked, that how the transition from a junior to a senior. What I think is I like to teach the juniors the same technique as we do the full contact fighters in seniors. I will teach them the roll kick. I will teach them the axe kick. I will teach them the knee to the head and the maigiri to the face. I will teach them everything. I will just teach them what's allowed and not allowed when they're going into tournament. And many says, no, you cannot do that. I will do that. I won't do that because they can lose control and suddenly they will do the roll kick. And wow. And I'm more than, no. We teach them control. We can teach them everything. It's the same with head punches as well. At the very, very early stage, we can see some head punches are coming up. And we teach them, no, head punches is not allowed. Keep your hands down when you are punching. Control this. And they will say us, and they will focus on it, and it's gone. And that's the same thing with techniques meant for the seniors. Because when you are coming in being 17, bulk, and you're 18 years old, you can't begin to train when you are 17 and a half or 18 years old on the knockdown techniques. you have to know them before that, and you have to know to defend against them, and you must have seen them before, because they are coming they're coming at you. And I've seen some classical example of, for example, the guard, like a junior fighter coming in a knockdown fight for the first time with the guard like this. And I have to do a little bit research on that one, but I was quite sure, and the answer was as I thought. The guard was there because through many juniors camp fights, you cannot score in the front of the face. So having the hands there was protecting but all the circular techniques to the head. But what did happen? Yeah, a clean migraine to the head in the first fight. Like 15 seconds. Boom. Straight in. And that's one example, but this is also, when you teach them this on an early stage, it won't be so frightening when they're coming up to, wow, now no protective gear, and now it's allowed to knee to the head. So make it natural. This is natural, this fighting. So make this, just include it, but keep a straight line. What's allowed and what's not allowed. And it's the same thing that I said with a senior fighter when they are off season, when it's in between tournaments. Then you can play more with that. Of course, in the time before the tournaments, the last month, we can sharpen the juniors and say, no, okay, now we will spar, and now we're not using the adult techniques. Not knee to the head, not axe kick, and all. Now we're only doing the part that we are allowed to do. No problem. And they will do so. And after the tournament, of course, you're free. You're free to test out everything. And that's, for me, that is, I think that I won't have a big gap between 17 and 18 years. That's not, I think it should be like slowly but sure we are moving upwards, not like, oh, and suddenly a big gap. Make it slowly but sure, and that is why we as trainers have to put in the right information at the right time, all the time. So this is, well, this is a little bit around what I'm thinking about. To wrap it up, use the ladder and find the right tournament for you. That can also be controlled a little bit about the economy. It could be expensive to travel far away, so that could be also a factor that you have to put in. I don't know, but that could be a factor as well. Include everyone to the training when it's off season. Help each other to come up, and if you're the top dog, you have the highest responsibility to teach the other. That's no question. So that's something that's important. If you are a little bit more experienced, pick out the two important tournaments and be sure that the line and the peak of the physical form and also the mental form are right into the tournaments. So this will change a little bit in between the fighters because we react a little bit different, but this is something you will have with your trainer and experience, and that is also something you will start from the bottom and work yourself up. Travel. You have to travel. You cannot be the top dog in your own dojo and just go out. We have seen that also, unfortunately. Top dog in the dojo in a little environment and coming out and get beat up and go back to the top dog spot again. And well, I was unlucky outside, so I'm not sure if I'm going more. So top dog home and unlucky out, but you go out, fight. Go into a tournament that you know you will be challenged. Don't go to tournament that you know you will win. Challenge yourself all the way, and use the environment as they can use you. That I will I think it's important. Well, I have a lot more I will talk about, but we have been talking too much already. Maybe I should do a part two on this one. But it's Christmas, so you have to take care of your friends, not only look at the YouTube. So until next time, us and still good. Have a nice Christmas and a peaceful Christmas and a happy New Year. See you.